So I think everything
Right.
happens for a reason. So um,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of just go with the flow and realize things happen in cycles, and um, there is a kind of a destiny going on, what they call the Dharma, um,
Mm-hmm.
in the Eastern traditions. Like there is something like that going on, and it's like when you resist that, or you don't want to, you're preoccupied with something else, you actually bring yourself into a lot more stress. And we were talking about earlier that you were saying that you don't think you could go off the path. I'm like, well, I think the path is always the path, but I think you can resist going on it for a while. I think I sure did numerous times, but um, man, I don't know. I think you're on your path when you actually feel, when you wake up and day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year, you feel more at peace and
Mm-hmm.
calmer and more like you see that things are just like in flux and cyclic in nature, and there's no need to worry about that. To me, that's when you're getting aligned with the quote unquote dharma on the path. That's how you know you're making progress. If still, if you're just changing, like as they say, the saying, you're rearranging furniture on the Titanic. If you're constantly in the same kind of energy, constantly stressed, constantly concerned with things that are not even important, like you made it important to you, but like they're not, it's not even important in the scheme of things. Because like I said earlier, like with the presidents and stuff like that, or the politics, is like I had never realized why everybody freaked out before, because life was the same after the fact. So
Yeah.
um and that's kind of what we
Yeah.
do in our perception, no matter what your poison is, so to speak, is you're trying to make things that are not that important. And
Yeah. Yeah. I think politics and weather, I think, is what we talked about before the show started.
yeah.
Some really good examples there of like how people have short memories of things and stuff's always doing these cycles. But even just like you were talking about perceptions, I don't know, we do this on so many levels and like things that we think we need to have or whatever, you know. Like I was talking to you, so last episode we were talking about habits and all of that stuff, and you were very much towards the end of it like, well, you set the intention and then you give it over to God. And I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't do that part with the caffeine thing. I'm trying to give up because I want something to struggle with, you know? It's like I'm doing that to myself. I could easily just set the intention and give it over and be like, eventually it'll happen. And maybe I will do that even, but I haven't hit that spot yet apparently with it. So I don't know. It's funny. You can do that on so many different levels
Yeah,
and
and
so
then
many different.
I was saying to you, and this is from my experience anyway, is that what you resist persist. And when you
Yeah.
kind of just like throw your hands up, you're like, because you already set the intention, or you wouldn't even be talking about it right now. It wouldn't be bugging you. So you're already bringing your attention there, and this whole surrendering to God part is just when you throw your hands up, basically. You don't have to
Yeah.
like conceptualize that it's a deity or something along that line or whatever. It's you just surrender it to a higher power, as like we were talking about the 12 steps last week, is the best way. However you see that higher power, it doesn't matter. Just when you throw your hands up, you might keep drinking those cokes for another 6 months, a year, and then one day you just wake up and you're like, that's how it always
Yeah.
happens. But
Yeah.
what you resist persist, and then you just stress yourself out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's easy to surrender over those other things like politics and all of that stuff. I'm like,
Mm.
you know, if I'm a child of God, and you know, he's going to take care of me to a certain extent. So that's not to say you don't have to try to take care of yourself or be concerned about certain things, but worrying about them, well, you can forget about that. There's no reason to worry about things, especially things that aren't actually even a thing, you know?
Mm.
Hey, thanks for taking the time to watch this clip. I hope you enjoyed the content. You can check out the full episode of Where the Mind Wanders by clicking the link.
You can also subscribe to the channel, where we debut a new episode every Monday at 3:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Thanks again for watching.